All right. And we are finally live. Once again, thank you for your patience, family. Got a great show lined up for the family tonight. Let me make sure my mic is on. I know King could hear me. Let me make sure. Yeah, see. All right. All right, family. We're about to get started. We're gonna have a great show tonight. I'm gonna get a lot of what's the word? Participation from y'all tonight. It's gonna
Yeah.
be real fun. We're gonna learn. And yeah, we're gonna learn a lot about ourselves tonight. Share the link. I would love for you to share the link with some of your loved ones. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you have not subscribed. We're gonna get to a quick commercial, and we'll be right back. This is a Holy Ghost commercial, featuring my brother Cam Bada. Album dropping soon. We'll be right back after this commercial.
Started out with nothing. Now I got a whole lot of something. Breaking through the roof. Willie Walker when he pressed the button. When I do a money ritual, all of a sudden money started coming. Then I cut the Holy Ghost. I still be rhyming even when I'm mumbling. You repeat my name 3 times. While you staring in the mirror, bottle will appear like poof. I came from out of thin air. To me the gun is like a magic wand. I make a problem disappear. I would knock a nigga teeth out his mouth. What? Just to turn him to veneer. I can do magic, I can do magic. 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 When I open up my mouth, I can move masses. Black magic on the beat, turn it to a classic. I'ma take the money out the bank, then I'ma put it in a mattress. So many niggas got.
Yeah, I told y'all we shooting that video on September 9th in Atlanta at Tarsili's Raw Reality. I need a lot of witches there. King, I need a lot of witches to show up. A
Word.
lot of like
Oh,
I need
oh, wait.
oh that's
Hold on.
I said witches. Oh, that's
You shut
wow,
down the light. You
that
shut
is
down the light.
spooky shit. That is some
Hold on.
spooky shit. Y'all see his eyes in the dark? Wow, that was lit. I
Y'all
could
shut
do
down the
magic.
light.
I could do magic.
You did it.
Yo, that was wow. You see the eyes? It was pitch
Yo.
black. And all we see was the eyes. Watch when y'all watch when y'all rewind that part. Wow. Oh man.
Yo, what's so interesting? Y'all doing Holy Ghost 3 in 2023, and it adds up to a number 10, which is the Wheel of Success number for all of y'all. Y'all, it's gonna be a successful thing, man. It's gonna be the third one is the charm, baby. Third one gonna be hot. It's crazy. All of them are good because I got both of them ones before, but this one is gonna be fire, especially when you do the thing at Tassili. What day you doing it on Tassili at Tassili spot?
9-9. Right after Stone Mountain, we head over to her spot and we filming it right after the Stone Mountain retreat.
That's gonna be powerful, man. That is gonna be powerful. I can't wait. I'm gonna be there, and that whole universal day. Not only if it's a 9-9 master number, 9-9 day. My grandfather born that day, but that 9-9 adds up to altogether. It adds up to 25 when you add the 9 plus the 9 plus the 2023 adds up to 25, which is a 7, a spiritual number of insight, law of attraction. So that's a good day also for y'all to do it. Also a very good day for y'all to do it. So powerful.
Excellent. Yeah, some of the people said they just caught you on another live. You was over at Forbidden Knowledge. They said you did your thing, King.
Yeah, right. They know I changed my hat and my shirt. No, I got my man. I got Black Dot stuff. Happy 50th to all the hip hop heads, man. Happy 50th to all of y'all. So big up to Black Dot, the whole crew.
Oh yeah. King,
Yeah,
we're gonna have a good show tonight. There's a divine language that the universe uses, and a lot of people who are into the esoteric knowledge say that this divine language is numerology and mathematics.
yeah.
So there's no getting around it at this point. We see how powerful numbers are, and we've seen how accurate you are throughout the years. You are one of the premier numerologists in our community, you and the brother Lord Strayhorn. So I want to thank you, my brother, for putting in so much work. We're gonna have a good time tonight. I want to start out because I wanted to code this matrix. If this matrix is built on numbers, mathematics, I want to really decode this language that we're using to understand exactly what spells we are casting, what vibrations we are putting out there, and what are we communicating to this quantum field. So I want to start out with, we're going to start like this, King. So,
Yes, sir.
all right, there's this thing called on planet Earth right now. One of the biggest themes that we're experiencing in this movie is this whole black versus white thing. And regardless of where you go, there's always a black versus white dynamic. So let's break down black numerology, whatever that word is. What's the number?
Numerological.
What's the number breakdown for black, King? Let's start out with black and white. Let's see what it is about these two forces that what makes us oppose each other so much.
First and foremost, thank you very much, Rich, for allowing me to come on, and thank you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You know, yeah.
No, I said thank you very much for thank you for allowing me to be on your platform again, my brother. I want to pardon the audience because my computer kind of went crazy, so I just want to make sure everybody knows what's happening. Of course, the word black in numerology, as far as the older system, the Chaldean system, which is interesting, that adds up to, when you add it all up, that adds up to a number 11.
That's master.
Yes, master number 11.
Here we have it. So black is a master number, everybody. Now let's do white. I don't want you to elaborate because we're gonna elaborate. Let's do white.
Let's do white. Let me break down the word white, okay? Which is interesting because that's what we're using. Hold on.
Black is the Moors are mad right now. You know, the Moors, they hate the word black. They be having temper tantrums when we say the word black. Oh, they mad out there. They throwing their feathers on the ground right now.
and they shouldn't really do, because that's the energy of today, but they shouldn't really drop it because Moor has a very significant meaning also.
We're gonna get to Moor, but let's do white. Come on, King. Come on. We gotta do this fast, brother. We gotta be sharp tonight.
Now the word white adds up to a number 17, which in numerology, the 17 is one of those numbers that is here to preserve a legacy. And they're about they're up to your number. They're on the same number you born. I'm your number.
Yeah, I'm gonna call myself white. I'm down with the Moors again, yo. I'm down with the Moors. I'm gonna start calling them. I'm white now, yo. I'm down with the Moors, man. I'm sorry, Moors.
You silly.
Okay.
Hold on. Hold on. Yeah. Let me confirm that. Hold on. Let me confirm that, because I got two systems that I'm working with here too. When you deal with that, hold on 1 second, my brother. I want to make sure my mathematics is always right here.
Was that the Chaldean? Was that the same system you used for black?
Yeah, I use a Chaldean for the black. But I want to make sure that it's tight because my thing had went down for a second just now. So I'm like, okay, here it is. All right. So when you add the Chaldean, when you add the 6 plus the 5 plus the 1 plus the 4 plus the 5, it actually equals 21. The word white adds up to 21. Now, this is interesting. Let's go. I want y'all to understand this. 21 in numerology is called the crown of the Magi numbers. It's a number of the universe, but they go through a lot of hardships. The white folks have gone through a lot, because people got to remember that white folks was enslaved by us first, but not treated the same way. People got to remember, and they're the kind of people that will look back at what was done to them and then come back and use it against you. And remember that number 21, which equals a 3 deals with expansion and growth. Now, in the Pythagorean system, that 5 plus the 8 plus the 9 plus the 4 plus the 5 equals 5 plus the 8 plus the 9 plus the 2 plus the 5 equals 29. Again, master number 11. 2 plus 9 equals 11.
So we both 11, the black and the white frequency.
11, but there's two different sequences now. 29 has its own vibration before it reached 11. Black has the direct 11. 29 has treachery behind it, deception behind it. People not thinking. And people have known that Europeans, in the most part in history, have been very treacherous and deceiving in what they have done throughout life, throughout their tenure as quote unquote white people under their own Pythagorean system. under their own, because this is under the Pythagorean system I was just explaining. Under the Chaldean system is a 21. On the Pythagorean system, it's a 29. So both systems has a certain significance. In the word black, which is so interesting, in the Pythagorean system, it's a number 11, and in the Chaldean system, it's a number 11. Spiritual, fame and fortune number, highly intuitive, and then it adds up to the number 2, which resonates with water because 2 is the water sign. And what did Aquarius says? Aquarius Maximus says that that the black people resonate with the water energy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just showing you how it all works together. And big up to Aquarius Maximus. I'm going to be in New Orleans with all of them this week. We're going to be in New Orleans this week. So
yeah, it's interesting that in 2 systems, black is equals to the master number.
Yeah.
Because of what we are told about black and all the negativity surrounding that word, not just from the Moors, but just from society in general. Every time you think of black, you think of something negative. Black magic, a black cat, shit, all types of anything black. A lot of people think of negativity. So I guess how should we move forward? Well, first of all, let me ask you this. So do numbers have, all right, if we represent numbers, there's certain people I may just not get along with, King Simon, in this realm. It's not a matter if I like them or not. I just may not click with that individual. Is there any numbers, black, master number 11, this collective consciousness is calling itself, that number 11 simply does not click with?
Number 11, let me tell you something about number 11. Because number 11 on its negative in the Chaldean system and in the compound numerology, although it's a highly favorable and high level number 11 in general have to be careful of treachery and deception all the time. All the time. That's why we are the most studied people on the planet. And most people, even when they come over here, even the blacks, the quote unquote black people from Africa are told to hate us over here in America. Over here in the game. So we got to understand that because we have so much power, and with great power comes responsibility, because we have so much power behind that name, black power and all that kind of stuff, because we have so much power, we always got to be in tuned and locked in because of the master number. We have to be in tuned and locked in to be very careful to stay in tune with who we are and who we keep around us. Black people in general, we have to be very careful who we allow in our space. All number frequency can be deceptive to the number 11 because sometimes people born under the number 11 or connected to the number 11 suffer from a lot of jealousy and a lot of energy vampires. Let me state that, energy vampires.
Okay.
That's what Tyrone was all about, cloning Tyrone, taking your energy. That's what Dr. Sleep was all about, taking your energy. That's what the Catholic Church was all about, what they do with children, taking the energy. Right. So we have to always be careful with that word black, quote unquote black. We have to be careful of people trying to suck our energy. And that's in both systems. In the Pythagorean and the Chaldean, it adds up to master number 11. So yeah, any number can be treacherous to us because we don't understand our power sometimes. Any person that resonate with other numbers can be treacherous to us because we don't understand our powers. Because if mathematics is the divine language, I always appeal to the audience that you have to tap into your intuition and then consult the numbers, because your intuition is more powerful, if not as powerful as the numbers, or even more powerful, because if we learn to tap into our gut feelings, which the number 11 rules that gut feeling and seeing things on a higher level. People born under the number 11 has done some magnificent things. Terrence Howard, Minister Farrakhan, born under the master number 11. Once you pay attention to those 11, especially Farrakhan, because of what he said and what he did, he always had to be very careful of his surrounding, to the point now he says that he got poisoned in the hospital when he got operated on. He's saying it. And he's born under 11. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. 11 is very important that we have to, especially because of the word black. And if we're using that resonant energy all this time, and we're not using more, we're not using melanin as much, we're starting to kick in with the melanin, but we're using black still at a strong level. We got to pay attention to who we allow in our space just as black people. And sometimes your own people can be very deceptive to you. as a black person.
Okay, that was a very interesting way to start the show. Oh man, I didn't know I was gonna hear the mass. I didn't know I was gonna hear that. Wow, that was quite interesting, and that's why we have you on here, brother, to learn about these resonant frequencies that we are participating in on a
Yes.
daily basis.
Yes.
Before I move on to the next subject, in terms of another name that a lot of us call ourselves, I want
Mhm.
you to tell me the frequency, the numerical frequency of the word nigga. Not only Nigga, but Nigger.
Oh, let's do that. Let me put that. And you want to vote both of them? You want to put both of them?
Yeah, I
Nigga.
want, because in our psyche, we keep saying that nigga has a different frequency from nigger. And we be like, yo, when I say nigga, it's like a loving energy. And then when white people say and they use the ER, we kind of get a different vibration from that. So I want to
Mhm.
see exactly what these words are carrying in terms of a numerical frequency.
Which one you want to start with? The Nigga.
Yeah, let's start with that.
When you add that up in the Chaldean system, that adds up to a number 13. In
Uh-oh.
numerology,
That's why they hate 13 so much. Is that how they hate them niggas? God, they even hate us on a numerical level. God damn, they hate us. They hate us. They hate everything about us. I just found out today that they even hate the numerical value frequency of us. God
of 13. That very good. I'm glad that you said that now.
it's bigger than what we think, y'all. This is
It's bigger than what we think, because 13 is a number of power and dominance, but it's also a number of that can wreak havoc, not only on itself, but from other people wreaking havoc on it. But 13, they have a whole word for that. I can't mention the name. I don't even know how to say it sometimes. But that they have a whole word for the fear of the number 13.
Right.
They have a whole word for it. But what's so interesting about the words nigger and nigger, the double G, you remember that our dear brother Dr. B talked about G being the number 7. Mm-hmm. In the Pythagorean system, the double G is the number 7. So you got 77. You got the master numbers in the Pythagorean system. In the Chaldean system is the master number 33. 33 in numerology is the Christ anointed energy. And what has happened to Christ in biblical history? He got crucified. He got tortured. He got hurt. Even if he was doing good, the two thieves that were sitting up next to him, they got let down and Jesus got crucified. The Christ. So with that, even with those double letters inside the name nigger, with the Nigga, and it adds up to the number 13, it still says that we have a Christ energy, whatever is following us. And we always got to be very careful of being subjected to crucifixion and being sacrificed.
I knew there was a reason why I like that word. I like what Paul Mooney. It was either Paul Mooney or Dick Gregory. They said they wake up and just say nigga. That was Paul Mooney, right? I think
Paul Mooney.
He said he wake up and just say nigga.
Yo, but what's so funny in the Pythagorean system, the word nigga spelled with the Nigga adds up to 29, which is 11 again.
11. Oh man,
can't make this stuff up.
Let's get to the ER.
Let's get to the ER. But again, the 29 got to be careful of deception and deceiving not only each other, but being deceived by other people. But we still come through it all the way through. That's why I'm glad we have the 13, because the 13 in biblical philosophy means that we had to go through the 12 disciples to become the Christ energy, the 13. We have to go through the disciples. We have to go through the discipline. Big up to the Kabbalah God, my brother A.A. Rashid, who told me about this book, the Encyclopedia of Kabbalah by Godwin. Very good. Big up to, he was on your show. He tore it up the last time. So big up to him. Now, let's deal with nigga with the E-R at the end. When you add the 6 plus the 6 plus the 7, that equals 19. In numerology, 19 is one of the karmic numbers. Now, in numerology, the compound number 19 is one of the karmic numbers on the negative as far as where you can attract karma for what you're not doing, but it's also one of the numbers that says that people that are under that particular frequency shine light on things, because also number 19 is the number of the sun. That means you're supposed to shine light on things. It is a number of advancement. That's why they've made this word so popular. It has powerful numbers in each one that you use. Very powerful frequency. And because it adds up to 19, we're supposed to shine light on things. And it says that whatever you start, you're supposed to finish. That's why 1 and 9 is very important. Whatever you begin, alpha, you're supposed to end it, the omega, and take it to a higher level. Remember, 1 plus 9 equals 10. That leads to the wheel of fortune energy, which I spoke about earlier with what you're doing in regards to what y'all doing with the new album that adds up to a number 10, which is the wheel of fortune. So we naturally are going to be fortunate in whatever energy we use, because the numbers are objective. They're not subjective. And they can go down to both the positive and the negative. And that's only in the Chaldean system. When I do it in the Pythagorean system, 5 plus 9 plus 14 plus 14 equals 42. That number 42 comes up. And I remember Blue Pill speaking on the 42, and that equals the 6. 6, the 4, 2, and 6 are all health numbers, are all numbers dealing with balance, structure, organization. But according to the Chaldean book written by, I got to show books, I got to show you, but I can tell you. According to the Chaldean books by Kiro, he speaks about the 42, and I want to read that to you. He says 42. He said the number 42 in numerology is also known as a fortunate number. It promises the assistance and association of those of rank and position with one's plan. It also denotes gain through love and opposite sex. It is a favorable number when it comes out in relation to the future, the number 42. But because of the 4 and the 2 and the 6, I always remind people when 4, 2, and 6 show up, you have to always remember about health, dealing with weird and unusual things that might happen to your life, dealing with the need to have balance when it comes to working in relationship with people. And then in the 6 energy, that deals with balance, harmony, truth, but also being very forgiving. That 6 deals with things. And you always know Black folks are always forgiven. They always forgiving people for what they've done. Think about the history and how many people we've forgiven for what they've done, to the point they still not giving us reparation, and we still forgiving them up to this day. So that energy of the 42 is also there when it comes with that number 6 energy of forgiveness and the meiotic balance that we have. Just letting us know that we are high vibratory people, even whatever name we choose. Whatever name we choose, we always choose names for a reason that sometimes we don't even know the mathematics behind it, but it means something in the mathematical realm that could also help us along the way. That's what I've learned over the years. That's why I tell people numbers are not subjective. They're objective, and they don't care if you believe in them or not. They work behind the scenes. Niggas has been surviving for a long time, whether it's nigga with the ER or the A at the end. We've been surviving and thriving for a long time in this realm and in this society that apparently hates us.
If you are just tuning in, we are decoding the matrix by breaking down words numerically. We have collectively taken on these names, and I want to know numerically what frequency do these names carry. I noticed there were a few butthurt white people in the chat. We are not trying to offend anybody. Usually the white people that watch my show, they're real cool. They don't get butthurt by some of the things that's being said. Nobody's attacking y'all if y'all feel attacked. We are simply talking about the energetic frequencies of these words that we use. All right. So I had to get rid of a couple of people, but now moving on with the show. That's the purpose of this show tonight. So,
and just let them know, Rich, we just giving the positive and negative, because even behind the name white, which is a 29, which is a 9, which is 11, that is a positive number on one side, and then there's a negative. It just so happens that majority of the time of people that's been in rulership, they've always used the negative.
Right.
That's all. I'm not. Hey, look, you white, you black, whatever. You mix with white and black. It's the energy and the frequency. It's not racist. It's just paying attention to the frequency and the vibration, that sometimes you could go down the negative road, or sometimes you could naturally go down the positive road. Both sides. You got two sides of the story. That's all I'm saying.
Now
That's all I'm.
I want to ask you this, King.
Yes, sir.
So I was watching Sad Guru.
Mm,
He said he was talking about numbers.
yes,
He said, I want you to write these numbers down when I say them.
yes,
He says he has a video. Everybody could go watch it if you want. He says, don't miss. He's talking about ages in your life. He says, don't miss 33,
yes.
42,
Mm-hmm.
47, and
Mm-hmm.
60 in your
Mm,
life because something phenomenal will happen in those years.
mm.
33, 42, 47, 60. Why would this man say that these particular years in your life, something special and phenomenal is going to happen?
You know, when it comes to numbers, and big up to Sadhguru, I believe he's born January 6th, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he's born that time. But he's also been working with a good friend of mine, Marshall Montano, for a while about the soil. But everybody have their own patterns. Everybody attract their own patterns. So 33 might not be for a particular person, but I see why he's telling people about 33 because that is a master number of the need to expand, especially in your development cycle, because that's when, quote unquote, the Christ energy exists. 42, I understand that because it's also the law of attraction that adds up to 6, which I just finished explaining about that healing vibration and another growth level of where you need to go. But I would say 42 all the way to 44. Big up to Blue Pill. Because I look at it from different perspectives. And he's saying 47 because 47 is a master number 11. I noticed that every time Sadhguru talk about, and what did I just say? He's connected to the number 6. Anybody look up Sadhguru's birthday for me right now. I think he's born January 6th. Look up his birthday for me right now. Anybody can look at it on the chat. Please put it up on the chat if they can look it up for me right now. Because I think it's the 6th. You got it?
September 3rd.
Oh, it's September 3rd. Okay, he's September 3rd. Okay, I thought he was January 6th. Okay, so September 3rd, which 3, 6, and 9 are all his power numbers. So I see where that's at. But think about this. Anytime you see what Sadhguru is saying about the 6 or the 11 that shows up, each one of them deal with healing. The 33 deals with master number of healing and master number of imagination and youthfulness. The number 2042 deals with the number 6, which deals with balance and harmony. But the number 47, very interesting number with the 47, because that deals with 2 different energies, just like the 4 and 2, just like the 4 and 2, and just like the 4 and 7. 4 deals with the need to stabilize your spiritual existence. Right. So by the time you reach 47, that's when you stabilize in your spiritual existence to then stretch forth into the master number 11, which 4 and 7 adds up to. Now 60, very interesting, because 60 in numerology is one of the master number potential of health and healing and crossing some type of pathway. Now, in people's 60s, usually when people reach a certain age of 60, that's when they start recognizing what are some of the ailments that hits them. And then they start recognizing the deeper spiritual understanding of the ailments that come to them. Think about what I'm saying, because 6 and 0, and anytime that 0 follows the number 6, there is a divine protection, there's a divine alignment, there's a divine addition to the number that it precedes. So if 6 is the number of ma'at, if 6 is the number of balance, harmony, truth, justice, reciprocity, if 0 follows it, it adds even more potential when you reach that age of 60. But like I said earlier, everybody have their own patterns of cycles that might follow them through that life. Like, for instance, you're born on the 17th, so things that add up to the number 8 can follow you throughout your life as a pattern, where it might be different for Sadhguru, it might be different for certain other people. Because some people die before the age of 33. Some people die on 33. Some people die before the age of 42. Some people die on 42. Some people die before the age of 47. Some people die on 47. Some people die before the age of 60. Some people die after 60. So these patterns, as far as personally, it follows you along your way from all your birthday and your name. So when he threw out something like that, that's coming from his perspective. And I got to clarify that. That is his personal perspective. And because he's born September the 3rd, his power numbers, according to his numbers, September the 3rd is 3, 6, and 5. His power numbers are 3, 6, and 5. Both the numbers 33 and 42 adds up to the number 6, and the number 60 adds up to the number 6. Those are his numbers from my perspective. That's his numbers. It's not my numbers. That's what I'm trying to say. So everything is a perspective. So did he explain that in the video? What did he say about it?
I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched some of it,
okay.
And
check that out.
I couldn't. Yeah, I had to start the show, so I'm gonna finish watching it tonight. Yeah, they say King Simon on fire tonight. Yeah, we started out the show. We started out the show flaming with that numerical breakdown of black and white. We started the show flaming. I didn't know King was gonna hit me with the black is the master number. I didn't know that. He hit me with that. I'm like, whoa. I need to think of some more words before the end of the show. But let me ask you this right now, King.
Yeah.
So in spirituality, we often wonder, we often talk about, our life purpose while we're here.
Yeah.
We often associate that with our soul mission.
Right.
We also often ponder whether or not creatures like animals have souls. We think about our souls, and then we look at animals and entities like animals, and we like, do animals have souls like us?
Wow.
Then we look. What I want to ask you is, because these numbers have personalities, do these numbers have souls? Are these numbers soul beings, just like we are soul beings, King Simon?
I'm glad you asked that question. I have a book called The Soul of Numbers, if I can find it. But remember, every interpretation that's connected to the numbers reveals the spiritual and the soulful aspect of the numbers. Yes. So if a 1 is born under creativity, there's a soul that resonates with creativity. There's a spirit that resonates with creativity. If you're born under the number 8, like you're born on the 17th, the 1 and the 7 deals with creativeness and assertiveness and also manifestation, but it also deals with spirituality. So of course it has a soul, but it deals with interpretation. Because remember, numerology in its perspective, it deals with all aspect of using the numbers. Some can be used physically, and some can be used spiritually. But most of the numerologists that I've talked about in these books, they'll tell you that there's the spirit of numbers. That's what makes our ancestors being able to interpret it and be able to recognize its repetitiveness and its observable outlook, and also measure it throughout time. So yes, every number has a physical aspect, has a mental aspect, has a soul aspect, and it has a spiritual aspect. The soul is already out there. It's what we're dealing with is more spirit and all, because it is already what it is according to certain metaphysics, because that's already divinely connected to the universe. And because the universe is also speaking the language of mathematics, it has to be connected.
I noticed the gangs, let's say the Bloods and the Crips, that has been a major problem in the black community in the last couple of decades, whether it's the West Coast, and if they eventually made its way to the East Coast. And I remember when I was a teenager and the Bloods and the Crips first hit New York, and we was like, wow, thought that was a West Coast thing. Now I know I vaguely remember some of the stuff. I had a buddy that was he was in a gang. He had, he didn't really have a family structure, and usually when you don't have that, you participate in gang activity. So he became Blood. And I know that in Blood is the red, Crips are the blue. And I know that he always talked about repping the 5 as a Blood. And even Jim Jones, the rapper, Jim Jones is Blood, and he got a chain with a 5 on it, because back in, he still shows respect. And they talk about the 5 point. They big on this because the origin of the gangs was like some spiritual conscious stuff, like the 5-point star, the 6-point star. But why would numerologically speaking, why do you think the Bloods would take on the number 5? And I think if we have anybody who knows about the gang thing in the chat, is the Crips the 6? I wish Supernova was around.
Wow.
To ask him, but the Bloods definitely rep the 5, and I think the Crips is the 6. So talk to me about why possibly a Blood gang will associate themselves with the number 5.
That's interesting, because even the word blood is 5 letters, which is interesting to me. The word blood is 5 letters. But
Oh yeah,
Five is
Crips is 6.
oh, and Crip
Chuck,
is 6.
yeah, Blood is 5, Crip 6. Yeah. Okay. So all right, so
That's
we on point. So talk to me about Blood being Crips, Blood being 5, Crip being 6. One is wearing the red, one is wearing the blue. Let's talk about that. Try to figure this thing out.
That's interesting, man. Because I personally have never been in the gang culture. I've been in the club culture, and I used to foster entertainment for gang members, but but not a part of any gang, especially in New York. You know, we was there with the Decepticons and all the people back in the day. But what I realized when you're dealing with five, remember, according to the numbers, five deals with power and refinement. So the question for me I would have to find out who was the founding members and what does it really mean before it? Because I understand they were really street organizations that was there to help.
Yes.
That's what I understand.
Yes.
So for it to be five represent power and refinement according to the 5%, but also five represents the need to communicate. Communication on its positive. On the negative, the five can be reckless. The five can be scandalous on another level and can be very destructive. That number five can be, that's why it's called power. Power can be used for good and power can be used for bad. So any Bloods out there, I don't know your culture. I'm going to be respectful. No, I don't know your culture like that, so I'm not going to speculate. I'm just dealing with the numbers itself. Now, I didn't even break down the word blood yet. Mm-hmm. So would you want me to break down the word blood?
That'd be great. We got time.
Yeah, I want to make sure that I understand it from just a mathematical perspective, because that would just be more respectful. But again, I'm showing respect to y'all because I don't know that culture per se, and I don't want to speak on nothing I don't know, especially if they run up on me while I'm in LA. I might be out in LA one day. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be respectful. But if you go to the Chaldean system, when you add 5 plus 5 plus 4, it adds up to, which is interesting, the word blood adds up to 14, Rich.
Which is
in the Chaldean system. It equals a 5.
It's 5. Damn, I'm
just saying.
They on point. So, okay, what does Crip equal in the Chaldean system? I got it. Now, if he say 6, I'm going to jump out this chair and run out the room, y'all.
Me too.
I'm going to just end the show. I'm going to end the show, jump out the chair, and run out the room, y'all. And say hallelujah. And say hallelujah.
Me too. I'm going to run out of here too. All right, so let's go for it. 5 plus 9 equals 14. No, that's in the Chaldean system. In the Pythagorean system, it adds up to, let's see, 3 plus 18 plus 7 equals 28, which is a 1. So that don't add up to a 6. But I'm so surprised that blood adds up to a number 14, but that doesn't add up to a 6. But it just goes to tell me. Now, what's so interesting about the number 28 and the number 14? Again, both of them have 14 in the Chaldean system, but both of them has the capacity to attract masses of people, whether they're using music or entertainment, because 14, which is a 5, is a number of music, communication, entertainment also. So people born under that number can be very successful at using entertainment, music, writing, and all that. So blood and Crip in the Chaldean system, which is a more mystical system, deals with creativity, deals with the need to find structure and organization, because it is an organizational number, but it adds up to the number 5, which it can lead down a reckless road or it can lead down a positive communication road of either writing, music, and all that. That's why you see a lot of quote unquote Crips and Bloods in the music business doing and throwing up their sign. I mean, today is the birthday of the great Nipsey Hussle. Figure. Today is his birthday, you know, and he died under the 33 energy, master number, the Christ energy. So I'm not gonna speculate what they. I think we have to go to the founding fathers, how it started and why they named it the Blood or the Crips. Big up to Supernova. I heard him break it down before. You know, be respectful to them for that.
You know, dealing with spirituality, we often a lot of people look for different ways to protect themselves from evil threats or from evil entities or just from wickedness or energy vampires, and we get all these amulets and stones and stuff, a lot of things to protect us. Is there a certain number that you
Ooh,
feel is protective against evil?
wow. That is a powerful question because that goes into either master numbers or angel numbers,
Mhm.
or what I call angle numbers because they have duality.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, but everybody's individual number, their best, their most powerful or power numbers or most favorable numbers is what's connected to their birthday or sometimes their name. So yes, you can chant a number, or you could write down number codes that give you guidance. I have a book on the number codes too. And big up to another sister that I know. She's a doctor that also her Zen gives her number codes also. And I have a book on number codes that you can for prosperity and all different types of things. But there's particular numbers and their combination that can create that. And remember, Rich, remember we grew up in this and listening to a lot of the elders. Thoughts are things. So whatever energy you put behind the thought of those things, it can be. And usually when people accept a so-called curse or some, that's because you're accepting it in your mind. My family, my cousins used to come to me when I was young and say, "Oh, the family curse," and I used to grow up and say, "Nah, I'm not going down that road of cursing. I'm not going to let anybody keep that in my head because if I kept it in my head, then I would go along telling my own children and my children telling their children that the family is cursed." Don't do that to yourself, family, because if we are the essence of the original creator, if we are God's having a human experience, then God can manipulate thought, can manipulate time, and create a new paradigm for themselves. Don't do it to yourself when it comes to that, using this and using that. All those are just external apparatuses, Rich. All of those are just external apparatus. At the end of the day, you are the walking temple. I don't believe in those curses and all that unless I allow it. Like Dr. B. Series says, if you allow it in your sphere, then it will be so. But if you don't allow it in your sphere and you don't claim it, it's not yours. We are the walking altars, bro. That's why we wear shirts and all. We're putting on, this is an altar.
Mhm.
This is our altar. We are the temple of God. We are the temple. So why am I being afraid of what's outside of my temple when I am the walking temple? Are there people that can do it? Because other people allow it to happen. You might drink somebody's soup that you wasn't supposed to drink. You might eat somebody's angry food in a restaurant that you wasn't supposed to eat. They might have had the flu and everybody in the restaurant got the flu. We got to be very mindful of certain things that we intake. And I usually when I go into a restaurant nowadays, Rich, and it's all dealing with energy, I check out the number that I'm going into and I check out the energy of the place. I'll go towards the bathroom or go towards the kitchen and feel out the energy and see what's happening. You got to pay attention to our intuitive power because all of us was given the gift. Numbers are just confirmation. All of us are given a gift. We just come, like you go into your spirit all the time when you're ready to go into your spirit and you do what you want to do. I've seen you do it over your lifetime, just knowing you for over 20 years. I've seen you do it. And all of us have to be able to take on. You don't wear a bunch of amulets all the time. And I've heard you debate certain people and argue with people around your table back in the day. Some of us don't have to do that, and some people do have to do it. It's up to you how long you're going to let it control you instead of you controlling yourself inwardly so you can maximize the outward representation of yourself.
Yeah, I was never big on all the ambulance and all the protection thing. I've always been, and there's nothing wrong with that. You do, like Bashar said, you use whatever you use as your permission slip. We use these things as permission slips to tap into our mind power. But
right, allow it. You gotta allow it. You gotta
exactly.
allow that.
Yeah,
yeah.
Allow it. Yeah.
Just like Dr. Phil used to say, no herb really works. You gotta allow the herb to help foster the help. But the body is the one that does the healing. Mm-hmm. The body is the one that does the healing. It's not, it's not the herb itself.
Did I ever ask you about 911, King? Did I ever ask you about that?
Yes, you have asked me about 911 years ago, yes. Which is that 911 adds up to that master number 11 again.
Okay.
And in Jamaica, they call it 119. Same thing. alerting you, alerting you, alerting you. It's an alert. It's alert, especially when you start seeing it over and over. When you start seeing angles and angel numbers over and over again, it's alerting you of what you are doing and what you're not doing. And why would they choose 911? One of the most highly spiritual master numbers. 9 plus 1 equals 11. Why would they choose one of the most highly spiritual numbers in numerology to use it as their alerting system, emergency system? Because they understand these symbols also. They understand these numbers. They understand. That's why you see the sheriff with the 6-pointed star. Remember, the word sharif comes from Arabic, which means the lawgiver. 6 deals with the law, the balance, the harmony, the truth, the justice, the reciprocity, the melodic law and balance. They know what they're doing when they're using these things. So it's just like Satan and Santa, 2 different extremes. Santa is supposed to be good. Satan is supposed to be evil. God and dog. God is supposed to be good. The dog is sometimes known to be evil, but yet most dogs, if you take care of a dog, they'll treat you better than most humans. Let's make some sense out of that. But that 911 is a highly spiritual number that they're using for what we call negative from the police standpoint, but really it's an alert and an alarm to awaken us up to some spiritual understanding that can also manifest. Because remember, like I said earlier, 11 is the number of treachery and deception, and also watching out from energy vampires on the negative, but it's also a high frequency number. 9 is the number of police. It starts off with 9. 9 is the number of police, military, war, and destruction. On the negative, on the positive, the 9 that it starts off with deals with universal understanding, also universal language, also universal humanitarian. And the police is supposed to be of service to humanity. They say they're supposed to protect humanity, but they're protecting property and what else? What is their motto? Protecting property and something else. I forgot what their motto was.
Business or something, corporations or something.
It's on one of their slogans, being protective of model. But we know police go back to policy holders, go back to the ones that used to chase the slaves back in the day, to capture them. Yeah, they go back to that. Sorry.
Yeah, no, definitely. We doing a lot of learning tonight. What's going on with them? This has been the quickest 47 minutes I ever had, probably in my life. I can't believe 47 minutes went by already. I feel like
4 and 7 is 11.
hey, 4 7 is 11. Let's talk about the word. Let's break down the numerical frequency of the word sex. That's how we all got here, King. We all got here.
Man.
Our mother and father having sex with each other. And speaking of sex, for some reason, one of the numbers that's associated with sex a lot of times is the 6 and the 9. 6-9. That's like, opposite the 6-9. That's like a position 6-9. You used to hear about that back in the they doing. Let's do a 6-9 and some shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about that. We doing a lot of code breaking tonight, fam. We doing code breaking. We decide. We figured out how this matrix operates.
Yeah.
Language.
What's so funny? That word sex in the Chaldean system adds up to the number 13, power and dominance, which is a 4, foundation of laying of reproduction of something, of building, because that number 4 deals with building, instruction, building a life and all that. But in the Pythagorean system, it adds up to a number 3, adds up to a number 12, which is a 3, which deals with expansion. Now, 6 and sex are actually the same word in different genres of information, because if you have 21 zeros behind a number, that's 6 tillion. That's 6 tillion. Oh. So 6 and sex, they call it sextillion. They call it sextillion, especially in the Nation of Islam, especially when you have 21 zeros following a number. It's called sextillion, SEX. Right. But yet that 6 is a very powerful number, because 6 deals with relationship. Sex deals with relation. It's just the transferring of the number I and the E, because in the law of vowels, it's called, you can interchange the vowels, where 6, sex, sax, like saxophone. Saxophone is a very sexy tone. When you know how to play a saxophone with a woman, woohoo, you can turn that thing on musically. You know what I'm saying? 6 is a number of magnitude, magnetic, sensual. The number 6 is a number, and then sex deals with sensuality and sexuality and the closeness and copulated. Everything is having sex. I seen 2 flies on top of each other the other day. They having sex. Bees are having sex. They doing the doggy style and they're not even dogs. Rich, they doing the doggy style and they're not dogs. I took 2 flies on top. Even the squirrel is getting it in. The ape, the gorillas, everybody's getting in it. So there's something about this sex that is here for the foundation and the building of human beings. That's why it adds up to that power number 13 in the Chaldean system. And the number 1 and the 3 deals with creativity and expansion. When we have sex with, it's supposed to be to procreate and to expand human existence. That's what that sex is supposed to be, according to the Pythagorean system. In the Chaldean system, creativity, the number 1, the number 2, 1 deals with creativity and compassion between 2. That leads to the expansion of humanity, because the number 3 also deals with the expansion and growth of humanity. So, the word is very powerful. This is the first time I even looked at sex like that. The word itself.
We making breakthroughs tonight, King. We making breakthroughs tonight. It's one of them shows, y'all. We making these breakthroughs tonight. I'm about to get to some Q&A from the family. But before I do, this is a 7-year. We talked about the number 7 and the spirituality behind the number 7. We all know the number 7 is all over our life, 7 continents, 7 notes on a musical scale, all types. We see 7 everywhere. 7 heaven, all types of stuff with the number 7. It goes on and on and on and on. We always hear the number 7 in the Bible everywhere. So we got that number 7. We know the shape of the number 7, but then in English language, you have the letter L, which looks like an upside 7. So are these opposite frequencies? How does this work? If these numbers and letters have spirits and frequencies, if a number is 7 is upside is shaped a certain way, then we have a letter that's shaped like the number 7, but it's upside down. How can we interpret this, King? The number 7 and the letter L.
The letter L.
L. They use L for God. L this, L that. So that's kind
of well. Remember, L, when it talks about L for God, that's the EL. Right, EL. But what's so interesting in numerology, the E and the L adds up to the 5 and the 3, which is an 8. 8 is the number, is the erected infinity symbol. It is not the infinity symbol. I want to make sure people is correct. It's only because we're looking at it, how it is shaped. In actuality, the L, which equals 8, 8 is the number of build and destroy. So it's telling you that God energy can have the power to build and destroy with the E and the L, because the 5 and the 3 equals 8, which is also known as a karmic number, cause and effect number. What goes around comes around. That, you know, the same cause that you give out is the same amount of effect that will come back to you. So that name EL is very powerful number. Now, L by itself in numerology, it adds up to the number 12. It's the 12th letter in numerology. So it deals with the 3. So anytime L shows up, that's when it deals with expansion. People that start with the letter L deals with expansion, but also deals with the need to be very mindful. People would like the name Larry or Loretta. Anytime that L starts off, they got to be very mindful of shutting down their vocals, speaking up in a timely fashion. Now, although 7 looks like an L upside down, but if you look at the 7, it looks like an arrow pointing somewhere to. Look at it pointing right, like it's pointed on like a right angle. That's what it. And if you remember what Dr. B said, 7 represents G, but 7 also represents G, P, and Y in this particular year, because 7 is connected to the letter G, P is connected to the 16, which is a 7. And Y is connected to 25, which is a 7. And I want to stay with that 7 for a reason, because In numerology, although 7 represents the reflective energy of God, or God rested on the seventh day, or in biblical perspective, they call it the God number, the letter P deals with preparation, which adds up to, which is a number 16 in numerology. That's the 16 letter in the numerology. And 16 in numerology is the number of planning, preparing yourself. Because if you don't plan, you plan to fail. And the number Y is the letter Y is the 25th, which deals with observing, asking the questions. Why means why, not just WHY, but why. Ask the question to get the answer, because 25 in numerology, which equals a 7, is the number of observing and listening more before you ask the question in order for you to formulate the proper question. So 7 in this whole year has been operating not just on a G, it's been operating on a P and the Y. And because it looked like a right angle, it's guiding you in the right way if you're willing to do the necessary deep dive and deep study into what's happening, not only in life outside of you, but so also life within you. Each one of those letters represent that.
It's powerful, yo. Y'all can't tell me this is electric. This is electrifying. You know, that's one of my main goals, King. I like my shows to be electrified. When when you put your manifestations out there, one of the words I use, the English words that I use to describe what I want to manifest in terms of my shows is I need them to be electrified. So that's one of my favorite words right there. Electrical, I like electricity. Electrifying, I like lightning, I like thunder. But yeah,
but what's so funny, Rich, your life path adds up to a number 9, and 9 is a fire number that deals with electricity, deals with all that. That's your life path.
And I told you, King, remember one time we was talking, and I'm an earth sign, and I said, King, I feel like fire though. I said, because I'm earth, so I'm supposed to be, and I got that in me, but if I describe myself, it would be fire. It would be that's how I would describe myself. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting.
But you're not just a fire, because when it adds up, remember, because you're born in 1981, right?
Yeah.
When you add it all across, it adds up to 2007. The 2 and the 7 deals with intuitiveness first, and then it's the fire. So it's intuitive 9. It's the intuitive fire energy or fire number, because 2 and 7 are water numbers in the symbology of numerology, and those are the intuitive number. Remember, the water number in your life path with the 2 and the 7 deals with the connection between the physical and the spiritual realm. The 9 is just because it adds up to a 9, it's just reminding you to be assertive and finish what you start, complete the job, and think on a higher vibratory level. That is your life path, Rich. That's your life path.
Amazing. I want to ask you, yo, Black Zionist, how you get back in here? I banned this dude a long time ago. What's up? He's a cool brother, but he be trolling sometimes. But he's a cool brother. I had to ban him because he started trolling too much. But Black Zionist, what's up, man? You must have made another account, man. What's going on, brother?
How you doing, sir?
long time listener, long time troll. Me and him, he supports though. He supports, so I appreciate. He snuck back in somehow. I don't know, but shout out to Black Zionist. Be on good behavior, Black Zionist. Be on good behavior.
Because Black Zionist, let me tell you about your first 2 letters in that name. One of them is dealing with emotion, and the other one is dealing with mental health. So be very careful what you're doing, because those first 2 leading letters, I ain't breaking down the whole name, but I'm showing those first 2 letters, the B and the Z. In the Chaldean system, the 2 and the 7, emotional and also sometimes mental health, because y'all hold a lot of things to yourself and y'all like to get into arguments. Be very careful. Like Rich like a good debate. Don't let Rich fool you. Rich's life path is a number 9, so he likes a good debate, but it doesn't have to always go there. It doesn't have to always go there. He always got to keep it at a higher level. Don't go down the road of arguing to a point that it gets angry and all that. Cause I remember on the streets, we used to be doing debates on the streets all the time. Rich, you know how it is.
Oh yeah. The street, New York streets was rough, man. You had to
defend yourself.
Yeah, man. Wow. Let me ask you this now, King.
Yes, sir.
You've got a lot of books on numbers.
Yes, sir.
And you study a lot of systems. Is there any system, and I'm gonna put this in the chat. I'm gonna use this as an example. Hold up. Is there any system where like how on the keyboard there's the letters and then we have the numbers at the top. And when we want to write words, we use letters. When we want to write numbers, we use the numbers. Is there ever a system that combines the numbers and letters together to form a word? Like we only use letters to form a word, but there's a system, and I'm gonna give you an example. So we talked about black earlier. So
Right.
black is BLACK.
Right.
What about 8LACK? The 8 can symbolize the B. So instead of just using letters, we combine the numbers with the letters to form a word. Have you ever seen that before in any system in the past where there's a combination of letters and words to form a word?
I have seen it, but anytime that shows up, like I explained it about, you remember the cough medicine formula 44D?
Yes. Yes.
See, look how they're using 44 and D together. A numerologist is going to look at it, and I said that on the last program before I came on it because that was a business thing. You're looking at the 4, 4, and D in numerology adds up to the number 4.
Right.
4, 4, 4.
Right.
And what made it so successful as a cough medicine is because it added up to the number 12, which is a 3, which deals with expansion and growth.
Mm-hmm.
And then the number 4 is a health number. So yeah, you can use that. It's just that the numerologist would read the number and then read the letters, just like somebody living at 17A or 17B. I would read it all. I would look at the 17 and then read B, which is a number 2.
Right.
And then equate it, because our job is to always transpose it, the letters, any letters that show up, into a number. Just like, remember Michael Jackson to him, A, B, C? Easy as 1, 2, 3. A, B, C in the Pythagorean is 1, 2, 3.
Right.
And if you listen to the song, it's a love song, and 1, 2, 3 adds up to the number 6, which is the number of love.
Right.
Very good song.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Where I come from? A, B, C, easy, 1, 2, 3. Baby, if you and me, be with me, baby, come, baby, if you. He's singing about a love of a little girl, somebody he's in love with.
Right.
In that song, and it was a love song from his perspective. So yes, it can be done, and I have seen it. And we look at it from we'll transpose the letter into the number so we can get the whole equation out of it. That's how it works.
Somebody said we form words with numbers on beepers. You remember that era, the beeper era?
Oh yeah.
You remember the beeper era?
I remember that.
We had to be real creative. We had to be. This was before cell phones, before all of that.
Yep. The beepers. I had like 4 of them.
Yeah, I remember the beepers, man. Listen, let's get to we're gonna do a brief Q&A.
Sure.
I'm gonna take a couple of questions from the family.
Let's do it.
Very, very fun. Learning is supposed to be fun. Somebody said that earlier. I try my best to make this an enjoyable experience for y'all. I hope y'all have enjoyed the show up to this point. If you would like to support the platform, you're definitely welcome to donate to Cash App, $ Black Magic 363. And King, what is your Cash App, my brother?
Oh, it's $ King Simon 3158. You know that have a meaning. See how I put my words and the numbers behind it? Exactly. $ King Simon 315. Not King Simone, King Simon, not with no E at the end, Simon 3158. And they can go to my link tree also at King Simon, King Simon, Linktree / King Simon, the Numerator. And I want to remind everybody, if you don't mind, Rich, that I'll be at New Orleans live and direct with Aquarius Maximus, Nina Diamond, Lloyd Strayhorn, and Jackie Levine from the 17th all the way to the 20th. We're doing the 2 days. We're doing the 18th and the 19th. We're doing a whole retreat and workshop, breaking all this stuff down. Oh, you know, Aquarius Maximus is bad. You know, Lloyd Strayhorn bad. I know Rich ain't meet Nina Diamond, her mother. That's her mother. You know, if Aquarius is bad, her mother bad. And Jackie is one of Lloyd's students and also very good at what she does. So we're gonna be there. And remember, I got Ashra Kwesi coming to New York City. I'm coming back to New York City to do that work with Ashra Kwesi and Mira Kwesi on September 23rd. It's gonna be fire, family. So y'all don't want to miss it. They haven't been in town for the last 4 to 5 years since the pandemic. They haven't been there. They haven't been in town. So we're trying to make sure we show them love at Mr. G's spot. Alkaline Oasis. That's the first time I'm bringing them there. So big up to Mr. G.
Indeed. All right, yeah. Indeed. Let's get to some Q&A.
Yeah, let's have some fun.
And you can put your Cash App in the chat if you want, King. I'll put it up on the screen.
Yeah, it's only that I'm on my phone and I can't go in the chat right now. Yeah, I'm on my phone.
Let me before I take the next question, let me put it up for you, my brother.
Thank you. Sorry about the computer family. My Wi-Fi is going crazy, so I had to come up on the phone. So
What
since I
is
came back, I just came back from New York.
what is it again, King? Your cash app?
Oh, $ King King Simon Simon 3158. Those numbers are connected to my birthday. All those numbers are connected to my birthday, which is crazy.
All right. All right. Yeah, let's do a quick Q&A. I'm not gonna be on here too long.
Yes, sir.
Nah, we not breaking down no birthdays today, y'all. We ain't doing that today.
Oh, they want to do
We
that?
do that next time. Yeah, we do that next time. We ain't doing birthdays today.
It's all right if they want to touch on what the year and what's going on. Let's help them out. I don't care. I got no problem with it. Because everybody's used to my birthday. That's why people used to me with birthdays like Lloyd. So I understand.
Right. I'm trying to find a good one. Somebody said, "How do you know what the numbers mean? How do you? Who started? Where do you get this from?"
Repetitive study. Our ancient ancestors and even the white books always go back to Africa or they go to India. They have studied the patterns and cycles and sequences of people, places, and things. A good book to get, family. And I like to show y'all better than I talk this stuff. This one is called Africa Counts. This is a powerful book written by a white woman, but yet the intro was done by one of our esteemed elders, Dr. John Henry Clark, about the mysticism of numbers, about the games that we created, about all the things. It's a matter of study. That's what it's all about, study. You're not going to just get it all of a sudden. You got to study what the number one, the 1 all the way through the 9 tells a story. If you study Kabbalah or you study Gematria, here's a good book on that. If you study Kabbalah or Gematria or you want to learn that, here's a good study. It's called The Secret Science of Numerology and the Hidden Meaning Behind Numbers and Letters. This is dealing with Kabbalah and some Gematria. They touching it all. I'm not afraid to share the information, family. I'm not afraid, but I had to study and then I tap in with my intuition and then study my family patterns. Because when you start studying numbers, you got to study the patterns in your own family. That's why I knew that one of my grandfathers my great-grandfather who committed suicide, his number equated to one of the mental health numbers. One of my grandmothers who was in the mental health facility and checked into her number was connected to that's why I wrote the book, Numerovation for Mental Stability. That's why I wrote my own book, because I recognize the patterns not only in my family, but I recognize it in myself and with celebrities. You'll see it in this book, Numerovation for Mental Stability and how to stay motivated. So yeah, we study. That's the only way you know anything. Just like if you go into a new job and you don't know nothing, you got to be under somebody, study, and then you get it. That's how it works, like anything else.
King, I've asked thousands of questions before. I know I asked you this one before, but I want you to answer it again for the people in the chat, since you brought up mental health. In slang back in the day, for a person who was crazy, we used to say, yo, that dude is 730. Why would we associate 730 with a person who has mental instability?
Which is interesting, is because 7 and 3 in my book are mental health numbers. In my book, those are 2 of the mental health numbers. 7 deals with worrying and allowing themselves to overthink too much, and sometimes they go down the negative road. The 3 deals with nervousness and nervous breakdown. People that have under that's why 3 is on the last part of my in my book. It's 4, 7, 8, 5, and 3. If you notice, 3 is the last one on the totem pole, because 3 is supposed to maintain a jovial, happy attitude. But if people get on their nerve, if society get on their nerve and things, and then they worrying about it, the 7 and 3 kicks in, and then that 0 adds extremity. So if you're 730, that extreme 0 behind those 2 mental numbers can drive you batty and crazy in these streets.
I got a super chat question, so I want to ask. This is not really related to numbers.
Okay.
But I appreciate the donation, Anthony. Anthony wants to know, mermaids communicate like dolphins using sound waves. Can you speak on them using sirens to instill fear?
That's it. You know, Doctor, your one who used to have on your blog talk, Dick Gregory spoke on that years
Yeah,
ago.
years ago. Yeah.
They mimic the sounds of babies, crying sounds, and all that kind of stuff. Because when a baby cries out of nowhere, especially when we're sleeping, it triggers all of us to get up and go run to it.
Right.
So yes, that's a psychological thing. Matter of fact, you can actually go get a book on that deals with psychology. The sounds, the colors, and all of that deals with, and every sound, color, everything has a mathematical vibration. So yeah, that's a good question, but that just shows me from what I've learned from the elders. Yeah, those things that happen. Every fire alarm has a certain it wakes us up. Something in our mind from our childhood. Think about it. From our childhood, there's certain sounds that sound like a crying woman.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When a woman is mourning at a funeral,
Mm-hmm.
there's certain sounds that they use to control us. So we got to be very mindful of the sounds that we let in out. And if you do stuff, that's why a lot of us get nervous at whoop, 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 whoop. When police officers stop us or when they're just passing by us, we get nervous because they have mimicked the sounds that can trigger certain things in our mind that will put fear to us or make us awaken to something. Mm-hmm. So sound is very important that we got to be very mindful of and can use for positive. Even in the music, Rich, you're a producer. You know what it is. I used to produce reggae music. We know what it is to put sound and certain frequencies in the sound, in the music.
Yeah, to the brother that asked this question, I will ask that question also to Dr. B.
Yeah.
That he'll definitely because he deals with music and frequencies. So that's something I'll swing by him next time I have him on. I definitely appreciate the question, brother. I want to stick to numerology today, having such a great show. Let's go to Ken Jr. Thank you for the donation, Ken Jr. Blessings. I've been curious about my life journey. I'm a gunshot victim and have been told in a past life I was killed by a gunshot in my back. And he says my birthday, date of birth is 1/16/1986, if that helps. I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'll let you answer that.
1986?
Yeah.
Now, what's so interesting about that? And he said 1986, right? Well, 1986, which is very interesting. Now, because you're born the same day as my ex-wife, which is interesting. You're born the same day as the ex-wife. 16 is the number of fatality. I'm gonna read something to you right now, so y'all know that I'm not playing games. And this come from an old numerologist from the 1900s. I'm gonna read something. This will show you how patterns and cycles of sequences still come about in the numbers. He says the number 16. This number has the most peculiar occult symbolism. It is a picture of a tower struck by lightning from which a man is falling with a crown on his head. It is also called the Shattered Citadel. It gives warning of some strange fatality awaiting one, also dangers of accidents and defeat of one plan. If it appears in a compound number relating to the future, it is a warning sign that should be carefully noted and plans made in advance in the endeavors to avert its fatal tendencies. Now, if I had done a session for you, for your mother, if your mother had came to me or Lloyd Strayhorn, we could have dropped some real good knowledge on how your mother needs to plan your life so you don't get into any arguments, you don't get into anything crazy, or how to plan so you don't get caught up in fate. Because there is duality. It's not that everybody born on the 16th is going to go through fatality or getting shot or all that. Some people born on the 16th. Look at Tupac. Think about it. Tupac is born on the 16th. I am sure that before that incident happened to you, something else was going on. There's something that you're not saying, bro. There's something else. You was in an environment or something. Tupac was in an environment, and if you looked at the television show or the biopic on Tupac, he had a choice to stay up in the room with the woman or go down there with an Aries like Suge Knight and went through what he had to go through. He went straight to the fire. Suge Knight is an Aries. He's a Gemini. with a water number, which is also one of the water number, which is one of the challenge numbers to the Aries, and Aries was one of the challenge. He's a 16, and that boy with that Suge Knight is born under the sign of Aries, which is a 9. He could have avoided that because he was already given a warning when the woman said, "Don't leave." Sometimes we got to listen to our women. So there's something else going on with that 16 energy that you could have avoided that if it happened throughout your life. And that's because 16 always attract that type of stuff if they're not planning or preparing before they make moves. Like your spidey senses always alert you to something. But you're still alive today. So thank the creative force for you to be alive in this day and time to even ask that question. So I respect you for that, brother.
Indeed.
That's powerful. It's powerful. But I looked at another 16 just now. I looked at another 16.
I just seen the question I want to ask, but I lost it. Give me 1 second.
And when I do talk to people born on the 16, I always tell them you always have to have a blueprint for your life. If I talk to parents with children younger than 13, I usually do, when parents book a session, I give them a breakdown of their children for free, like just their birthday, if they're under 13 and younger. So I can give them what they need to align their children with so they can avoid certain pitfalls during their life. If you book a session with me.
Miss Nana wants to know, if I change my legal name, will my numerology also change?
You add extra frequency to it. But I always tell people, if you're going to change your name, make sure it supports your birthday and all the power numbers that you're born connected to through your birthday. If you change, because you do add on. I've changed my name to spiritual names. Come to find out, the names that I've changed it to, it always equated to the same numbers that my original name was. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. So I was following my patterns, but you gotta make sure you change your name to names that's going to support your journey and not put challenges in your journey unless you're supposed to go through those challenges, because all challenges are not negative, sister. Some challenges are here to challenge you to be your best or your worst. And I always specify that in my sessions when people change their name.
All right. BK Trainer says, I'm an air sign and my initials is KW. Can you break that down?
You're an air sign and your initials is KW. What sign are you? Well, like, let's deal with KW. You're an air sign. Huh?
He says I'm an air sign AQU. So I'm assuming Aquarius. No, that's not Aquarius. Ain't an air sign, right?
AQU. That's Aquarius, right? That's Aquarius.
Okay.
AQU. That's the only Aquarius. Yeah, that's AQ. That's Aquarius. So I'm Aquarius also, so I know what he's talking about. But now, what's so interesting about that? The KW in numerology adds up to a number 26, which is an 8. In the Pythagorean system, it adds up to a number 7, which 2 and 5. Because you're an Aquarius, I want you to remember that the number 8, the 26, represents you need to always be careful of bad advice, bad partnerships, and bad unions. The number 7 says you need to observe more than you talk to people. Aquarius has a rebel, so you might go against what I just said because that's that rebel energy. But did you know that before Uranus was found, Aquarius and Capricorn shared the same number and shared the same planet with its Saturn, which is the number 8. So you have the resonant number of 8, but the 8 is always reminding you, KW, to be disciplined, to be structured, to be organized, and whatever you do, you got to do it with legal means. And you always have to do a deep dive research because of the 7 that's in the Pythagorean, and the 8 deals with the 8 deals with the disciplinary structure that you have to have in not only your business life but also your family life. And you should always always pay attention to your intuition. Your intuition never lies to you. When you go against your intuition, that's when you've messed up, according to your number and that number that you just gave. But I think you should do a full session because I break down name, birthday, all of that. We go into all of that. I don't care. If you ask me the question, you got it. Mm-hmm. That's how we work it.
No, indeed. Let me see. Let me get to, we're about to get out of here.
No problem. And remember, family, my sessions are question driven because no one spends money like that without something in their spirit,
Right.
wanting them to do that. It's in you. I'm trying to let you know it's already in you. My job is not to read you. I don't read people. I help you to activate so you can maximize your number. Activate your number so you can maximize your number so you can be the best you can be for your family, for yourself, and for the world. That's my job. That's why I call myself the numerovator. Go ahead.
Somebody want to know what was the book you showed. You just showed a book, King. They want to know that last.
Was it this one?
A couple of people. I don't know. They just asked what book. A couple.
Well, tell them they can rewind this. I showed them a few books. I showed them that one. I showed them this. I showed this one.
Yeah. That's what he showed us a few books. Yeah. So I don't.
Yeah, I showed that one. I showed this one. Right. I showed that one by this is by Shirley Blackwell. I showed my book, of course, Numerovation for Mental Stability. I showed all these books. So I got a lot of books, like Rich do.
yeah, we got big libraries. Big libraries is big.
We collect. And rest in peace to Clemson Brown again. Rest in peace to Clemson Brown, our dear brother. Oh man, I missed him already, man. Good brother, man.
Amazing brother, amazing. Yeah. He had the largest library out of anybody in the world when it comes to conscious information. He was, it was like he was like the Black Vatican. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And his birthday was coming up. I tell people in my book, Lloyd talked about it, the critical cycle when it comes to elderly people and before your birthday. Remember, the critical cycle is 52 days before your birthday. You should be very careful of how you get into arguments or contention and all that kind of stuff. Also with your health, be very careful. That's why I tell people it's called I call it the critical cleansing cycle. It's one of those cycles that you need to cleanse people, places, and things that no longer serves your purpose before your birthday, because your birthday is your personal new year. That's your personal new year. So what you do before your personal new year, you want to move certain things that don't need to be in your house, move certain people that don't need to be in your phone, move certain things that don't need to be in your diet anymore. Cleanse, because your birthday represents your personal new year. And when new years come in, not January 1st, unless you're born January 1st, when a new year comes in, everybody wants to make this resolution. The only reason they don't do the resolution totally because most of the time it's not even your new year. It's their new year. It's that person born on January 1st or that person born on March 21st. That's their new year. But your personal, mathematical, astrological new year is your birthday. The date you were born. That's your birthday, your new year.
It's deep.
Yes, sir.
Let's get to a super chat question. I see 2 super chats, so I think I'm gonna ask these 2. Then I'm gonna put up 11/21/86 life path
11/21
1986 life path 11.
Okay, first of all, big up to you. 21 is that powerful number as 1986, right? When you add that a number, yes, the life path is 11. Now, Rich, I always tell people, a lot of people want to have these master numbers, but with master numbers, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yes.
It just lets me know that 11 has been following your path. Again, being intuitive, picking up on your intuitive energy, trusting your spirit. And be careful of the scattered monkey mind, because the 21 in your chart deals with scattered. You be all over the place sometimes when the 11 is trying to discipline you to be the master that you're supposed to be in your life. That's what the 11 is. And your alignment number, when I add your 11 plus the 21, that equals 32. You have the ability to move and travel, and you could be all over the place with certain things. But anytime a master number shows up in your chart with your life path, and then of course the personal number, you got to be willing to discipline and finish what you want to accomplish so you can be the master. According to this society, it takes 7 years or 10,000 hours to be a master. According to the society, it takes 7 years or 10,000 hours to be a master. Most of us are raised in this microwave mindset that everything, push a button, you got it, that's it. No, you didn't come out your mama's womb that fast. None of us did. So we have to, with master number strong in your chart, being born in the 11th month and being born with a master number 11, and then being born under the crown of the Magi energy. When you're born on the 21st, the crown of the Magi energy has to go through some initiation. They have to go through their determination. And if they're not willing to go through that, then they're going to have problems. So the most positive thing that you can do, learn to trust your intuition, trust your spirit, and whatever is productive that you love to do, turn your pain, pleasures, and passion into profit. And you need to write your ideals down, because ideals come to you real quick. Just according to your numbers, ideals come to you real quick, but sometimes there's so much coming at you, you don't know which one to do. And that's the problem. You be scattered. But the master number is reminding you, calm it down and do one thing at a time. And use your number 21. Say, look, I'm going to do this in 21 days, 21 weeks, 21 months. The 21st of every month, I'm going to master something or take myself to the next level of your mastery. That's all. I'm just going to share that with you. Go ahead. When you're ready, come do the session.
That was thorough.
I'm here to motivate them, King. I'm here to motivate them.
let's get to divine time and forth. Divine life path number. What I don't understand. What is this? Can you read that, King? What is he for?
Okay. When is it born? They're seven. When their birthday is what? 7. Her life path number is a 4, but she's 7/4/1973, I think.
I don't know what that means. Divine time, and I don't know what the hell that is. 7/4773. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah. She's born July 4th, 1973, and her life path number is a 22, actually. And then it equates to a number 4. Yeah, you got another master number. So she lives in her head a lot. She got to get out of her head. People born on the 4, like Bobby Brown's daughter, Bobby Brown and Whitney's daughter, that she was born March the 4th, living her head and went through a lot of mental stuff. Y'all got Dr. Sabi's daughter, Zave, is born on the 4th, always living in their head, overthinking things. And then your life path number is a 22, which is a master builder, master architect. But the building process, sister, starts from within, not outside of you. Because 22 is an inspiring, intuitive number, because of the number 2 is a water number of intuition. So you need to dig within when you have the master number 22 and start to build and architecturally build. Because if you check out any architect, if you check out any builder, they have to lay the brick, then they have to put a balance on it. They got to lay the brick and then put a balance on it. They got to lay the brick and then pull a balance on it. You can't go without the work. And you got to be willing to put in the work. And like Dr. B. Sears says, turn it into play. I call it plurk. Why don't you play while you're working? So you better start plurking your way, but make sure you love what you do and get out of your head, because 4s like to stay in their head. And you're born in the 7th month. 7, 4 are all mental numbers. They could either go down the mental route of a negative mental outcome or a positive. And the only way you're going to stay on the positive, my sister, is listening to positive, motivational, affirmational message in the morning, noon, and night throughout the day. You're supposed to run your own business. And you're supposed to make sure your business is on a global means and through technology, because 4 and 22 runs technology.
All right, we're gonna keep it moving. I got a couple of super chats, so we're gonna keep. I'm not gonna be on here too long. I can't be on here too long. I'm not guaranteeing I'm gonna get to all of yours, but I'm gonna get to a couple of more of the super chats. I done lost my spot. Where am I?
Tell them to calm down. Book a session.
We go. I'm gonna show y'all love. I'm gonna get to I'm gonna show you love. We gonna get to some of y'all. All right, my initials is KSW. I'm a Libra born on 9/24/78. I always dream numbers. I dream things before they happen, include deaths of loved ones.
Wow.
9/24.
And they dealt with it. They gave me the initials too. Okay, SW, huh? Yeah. Woo, man. Let me check that out. Let me check that out first. Those initials. First of all, 9, 10. A matter of fact, KSW initial is a master number 11 of insight. That means you see things that other people don't see. That's what 11 is also a part of, seeing things that other people don't see. It's a number of inspiration. And it tells me that you're an old soul also. And because you're born 9/24, which was my best friend was born 9/24, and a friend of mine's uncle was born 9/24, which is interesting. You got a 9/24, what is 78, they said?
Yeah, 9/24/78.
4 plus 1978. 1978 equals, wow, 2011. That's a 4. First of all, your alignment number is a master number 33. When you add 9 plus 24, that equals 33. So you got master number with that KSW, you got master number 11, which is an old soul energy, master number 33 as your alignment number. When you add the 9 plus the 24, that's an alignment number, that 33. You're a natural healer, but you attract people that need help and healing a lot. You got to be a little bit more mindful of who you allow in your space. I was wearing my blue blockers. Let me put this back on. It's hurt my eye. So you got to be very careful. And I tell most healers to turn their attraction of people that might need help and healing, turn it into a life coach business, turn it into a consultation business. Try to do that with yourself. And then your life path adds up to 2011. When I look at the number 20 and the number 11 before it adds up to the number 4, 20 says there's some great purpose that you have on earth to do from a spiritual but yet a physical manifestation of it. And then 11 is the fame and fortune number that you're supposed to stretch forth your hands through technology also, but through communication on multiple levels. And it has to be helping and serving the community, because the 24 and the 33 that you have, as far as your alignment, deals with the need to unselfishly help people, to unselfishly give, but you got to be very choosy on who you give, because you can attract quote unquote energy vampires. And like I said, one of the good books about energy vampires is called Dodging Energy Vampires by Christian Northrup. I don't know the lady, but she's a good MD. She has good information in that book. And please study the book and apply it, especially people with a lot of master numbers around you, because I call master number energies like eagles and falcons. But if you're not willing to fly, if you're flying and people are chickens, then they can pull you down to chicken status if you don't pay attention. They can pull you down from that eagle and that falcon energy. I have never, and I tell clients this all the time, I have never gone, when I used to eat chicken, I have never gone to Kentucky Fried Chicken and seen a Kentucky Fried Eagle or falcon. It don't exist in there, because it's hard to catch those birds. And because you got those master number frequencies around you, fly like an eagle, and stop fronting. Go be your great healing self, and don't be afraid. Stop second guess and stop overthinking. I'm just letting you know how it works, girl. Do a session with me. I got much more to tell you when you're ready.
All right, let's do Bow Sway, and that's February 28th, 1987.
Woo! 2 plus 28. Now that equals the number 30. Anything that you do, that's your alignment number. You need to write it down, and anything that you do, you have to be optimistic and jovial, and don't let other people outside of you scatter your energy or get on your nerves. Now, the number 28 in numerology, which is quite interesting, you're born the same day as those twins, the sister Tasha, that used to be on, not Living Single, she used to be on a lot of Tyler Perry's movies, but 28 is known as the divorce number. Especially when it comes, if you didn't see a good relationship with your mom and father, you may bring that to other relationship. But if you have, more than likely, if you're trying to make somebody like your father or somebody like your mother, don't try to do that. Just try to live, and just make sure you divorce yourself from negative people, negative energy, negative environment, negative spaces. And now your life path number, when I added 1987, I believe, yeah, 1987. Hold on. That's 2 plus 28 plus 1987. That equals 2017. Now, 2 plus 1 plus 7 equals 10. 10 in your life path deals with the wheel of fortune, the wheel of accomplishment numbers, that you could accomplish whatever you want to accomplish, both good or bad, but you have to stop second guessing yourself. Stop second guessing your abilities and your talent. If it's good, because you're Pisces, your intuition is key. Pay attention to your intuition, because that is the guide. And if it's the most powerful, productive intuition, just go with it. Don't run from it. Go with it. Don't run from it. Go with it, and share your talent as that Piscean spiritual intuitive energy. Don't be afraid, because you're born under numbers that's supposed to be doing business and running your own business. Go ahead and do it. Don't be afraid of it. Run to it. Don't run from it.
All right.
All right now. Stop playing.
Let's get to Jermaine Tucson wants to know, are there any numerical systems that are more powerful than others, or is it relative to one's environment?
There's systems deeper than other where you want to go down that rabbit hole, like Gematria or Kabbalah. You can go like I like what, like I said, what AA does, or what people like Akibalan does with the 44 does, or what Blue Pill does. I keep it simple. And I give recommended reading in the back of all my books. So if you want to go deeper, that's up to you. But if you're going deep and you're not applying it, it don't make sense to me. And like Kaba Hayawata says to me, or many of us, he says, if you're in a room with a 5-year-old and an 85-year-old, and none of y'all have learned anything, then you're not teaching. So you could say people could talk all that deep stuff about and how deep, and you could predict why 9/11 was and why Maui got hit and all that kind of stuff. But how is it serving your greater benefit? That's why I do numerovation and not just numerology. I'm here to motivate you. So all systems are relevant to their culture. Japanese numerology, Chaldean is more for us and the people of darker hue. But you got Japanese, you got Chinese, and I use all of them if I need them. I got a European numerology book right up here. I got gene keys right here too. All of them are relevant. You just need to take what you need to make yourself a better person, and whoever's around you, if they want or choose to be a better person also. So all systems are relevant as long as you're willing to apply any one of them that can be helpful.
All right. Netra wants to know, Netra's birthday is November 22nd, 1988.
Wow, she got a lot of master numbers in her.
Yeah, right? 11, 22, 88. Goddamn.
And the 88, Lord. Oh, girl, you need to do a session with me, girl, so I can point out some great stuff. You need to book a session, because this can get deep. And because in Vedic numerology, they removed the 19 and just used the 88. So it'll be 11, 22, and 88. You've gone through a lot of stuff in your past from your family and all that, and there's a lot of forgiveness that you have to do. You got to forgive, and you know what it is. I don't have to tell you. Whether it's on your father's side or your mother's side, forgive, let go, and grow, my dear. You have to. And because you have all of the numbers, now if I do it with the Vedic numerology, 11 plus 22 plus 88 equals 121. That tells me you got to get out of your head. You got to be willing to restructure and reorganize your life. And because it's 121, which adds up to the number 4, 1 deals with creativity, 2 deals with the compassion behind the creativity, and the 1 deals with the assertiveness behind the compassion and the creativity. So anything you do, if you want to be the master and live off of those master frequency, although they come with a lot of hard times, I'm not going to lie to people. There's duality in all of this. They come with a lot of rough times, but if that don't kill you makes you stronger. And you're born with that frequency of the master numbers for a reason. And if I did it with 11 plus 22 plus 1988, that equals 2021, you have to be able to, it adds up to a number 5. So that tells me you need to be adaptable, you need to be flexible, you need to overcome, and you need to be versatile in whatever you do. And you need a business or a job that's going to allow you to be free. You can't be stuck up in some cubicle working for somebody. You got to travel and move. Am I making sense, my dear? And there's more, but that deals with your name, birthday, the years that we're in, the cycles and all that. When you're ready, you book a session. Whenever you're ready. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I shall.
Right. Oh, man. Hey, if I didn't get to you tonight and you sent the super chat, you could contact King Simon and he'll definitely work something out with you for full session.
They take off if you sent to him. If you send me $10, I'll take it off.
Yeah, you can send him your receipt and he'll definitely work something out with you. Let's get to the next one. We got Did we do Shonda already? No, we didn't do Shonda. Shonda's a Life Path 11 born 8/8/1984.
He born on that Lionsgate, huh? Woo. Interesting. And the year 1984 adds up to 22. So you got 88 and 22. Interesting combination. A lot of people talked about the Lionsgate and the opening. And I said on my IG that there's 3 Lionsgate in the month of August. August 8th, August 17th, and August 26th. Those are 3 different Lionsgates. Means different things. With your alignment number, my dear, it's all about preparing and having a blueprint for your life. You are supposed to have money and finance and understand the need to recognize assets and liabilities in your life. And what do I mean? You should get into property. You should get into crypto. You should get into gold, silver, and all that. Anything that deals with currency, you need to get into it. Anything, electronic, silver, gold, just like somebody born on the 8th of April, Robert Kiyosaki. Read his book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and play his game, buy his game, or get Derek Grace's game and all that kind. Study people that are teaching the importance of the disciplinary mindset of numbers and money and currency. That's what you always should do. And be willing to leave the legacy, because 8 is 2 legacy leaving numbers. But because 8 and 8 equals 16, that deals with the preparing you have to have so you don't go down a fatal road. Like I spoke about that person born on the 16th. If 16 show up in your chart, you got to be careful of fatality, because you didn't plan, you didn't prepare, you didn't stay alert, you didn't pay attention to your spirit and your intuition, because you're very intuitive. And people born under those numbers, the 7, the 16, and the 25th, are intuitive people. But damn it, some of y'all don't want to listen to your intuition. Woo. You give people the benefit of the doubt. Woo. And that's the problem. If your spirit said that man or that woman ain't no good for you, you should listen to your spirit, especially people connected to those highly spiritual, intuitive numbers like the 2, the 7, or the 11, or the 22, or the 33, or the 20, or those numbers. Anytime you see those master numbers or those strong intuitive numbers, you need to learn and tap in, especially when master numbers show up, because again, your life path, when you add the 8 plus the 8 plus the 1984 equals 2000. Again, it takes you to the intuitive number of 2 with triple zeros behind it. Your dreams are crazy. I can tell just by your numbers. Throughout your life, since you was young, your dreams have been very vivid. I can tell just by your numbers, because numbers don't lie. People lie to themselves. When you're ready, sister, let's get busy. Let's get it in.
King, what kind of spirit you got in you today? You preaching tonight, brother. You got that Dr. B serious spirit in you tonight, brother.
Man, thanks, Dr. B. Man, Dr. B, just like AA and other people, have opened my mind to Panic, Bill, Phil, all of them. I told Panic to his face. I said, "Yo, you made my numerovation better." Dr. B made my numerovation better. Yo, Dr. B was giving me some ideas out there and for my next book in Miami the other day. Dr. B, we had breakfast almost every other day. So he said, and I'm dropping the numbers on him, and he said, "King Simon, this is what you need to do, boom, boom." Because he's one of those people. He's born January the 5th. So he naturally loves and he naturally sees what a person needs to tweak in their life through numbers, through spirituality. And he helped me, just like people like AA, Blue Pill, just like people like Bobby, just like Brother like Panic, Billy Carson, all of them have helped me to tweak me. That's why I tell people, take what you need and get yourself better. Get yourself better, because everything is about the armor that you put on, the armor of God. And every armor is going to cover the head. Someone's going to cover the face. Someone's going to cover the chest. But you're talking about your spiritual armor. That's what's important. Your spiritual and your mathematical armor reveals what type of spiritual armor you should put on.
All right.
Yes, sir.
We're going to do one last one. Anybody, I missed out on about 4 of y'all with the super chat. You can contact King Simon and he will work something out with you, or whatever you sent for the super chat. He'll definitely take care of you. Give them your contact information, King, for those who sent in the super chat and is going to reach out to you, or anybody else who wants to reach out also.
Yeah, if you want to text me your full name and date of birth. Remember, I do have a waiting list, so I'm not fronting. I think I'm down to like 2 slots left in August. I'm already in September. But text me your full name and date of birth. If you live outside of the United States, listen to me carefully. If you live in Canada, England, Germany, because I have clients all over the place, use WhatsApp. But if you live in the Americas, if you live in Puerto Rico, and that's part of the America, Hawaii, and U.S. Virgin Islands, you can text me via regular phone. But if you live outside of that, You use WhatsApp. That's 347-496-1022. Please be patient because I do have a waiting list. But if you want to interrupt my list, then it's going to cost an extra if you want to interrupt my list. But if you do want to be patient, please be patient because some of y'all rushing and y'all can be patient. Y'all really can be patient. I'm not begging for money. I'm telling you, myself, Rich, and everybody live in abundance. It comes, period. But I'm telling you, family, stay focused, and you should live in that frequency also. Text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. My Cash App is $King Simon 3158. My PayPal is paypal.me/King Simon, KINGSIMON, not E at the end. Just make sure y'all clear. PayPal.me/King Simon. And hey, go to my link tree for all my books, all my links, private Facebook pages. That's linktree/King Simon the numero Veta. NUMEROVATOR, the numero Veta. King Simon the numero Veta. That's Linktree. All right.
Okay.
And remember, I'll be in New Orleans this weekend, so don't mess up. Come on out with my girls and boys, Lloyd Strayhorn, Aquarius Maximus, Jackie Levine, and also Nina Diamond. We're going to be there at the Hilton Hotel, New Orleans, baby, right there from the 17th all the way to the 20th.
I'm gonna get Lloyd on, or Lloyd Strayhorn on soon, y'all. We're gonna do some more readings with Lloyd. I'll probably holler at him next week because this is a real fun show. I mean, whenever we get into these numbers, I mean, it just get real fun and we learn a lot and it's real inspirational, y'all. We get to learn about ourselves also. So, I mean, you can't beat that. That's as good as it is right there.
And Rich, I just encourage people, don't just take it as a reading. It's about activating.
Yeah.
I read children. I don't need to read grown-ass people. You should know yourself by now. It's just that you keep on forgetting and you need to be reminded. That's all. Children, too. They need to be reminded of where their path need to go. But that's what the parents, that's why Dr. Phil Valentine always said, parents can't teach a child how to be a child, but children can teach a parent how to be a parent or how to parent them. You understand? Man.
My son taught me I need to have a lot of patience.
Exactly. He born under that number 2. You gotta be patient with him.
A lot of patience, man.
You gotta show him love and show him appreciation. Anybody born under that 2, 11, or 20th or 29th of the month, you always at least gotta show them love and patience every 2 times a day or more. You gotta show, because they can be crybabies, they can be very emotional and all that. Even your wife, you gotta show her that appreciation. She's born under 2 also. You gotta show her that. Gotta show it to you.
Yeah, a lot of 2s in my life, King.
Yes, you do, bro.
A lot of 2s, man.
And you know, two is challenging to your life path. That's a 9. That challenges your life path. So that's been your challenge, the 2s.
Yeah, man, they certainly are challenging. Both of them are efforts. They certainly are. In a good way, though. In a good way.
Well, me and Rich be talking privately. Believe me, I know. I know.
My son is he got energy all day long, yo. I mean, 24 hours a day.
Because his alignment number is a number 3. When you add the 10 plus the 2, that alignment number is a 3. They love music. They bounce all over the damn place. People connected to that 3, they all over the place. And if you stop them, they start crying. Because he got that 2. He start crying. What you doing? He got that face on him. I know he got a face on him when you stop him from doing what he loved to do.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And he got your face too. That's it. You're looking right at you.
Yeah. Hey, that's let's get to this last one, King. We got Donna G. Donna G 91588, King. She says Virgo moon, Scorpio moon. No, I'm sorry. Virgo sun, Scorpio moon, and Virgo rising. What's my next move, King Simon?
Well, I only deal with the numbers. You want to deal with astrology, deal with Raku and them. I deal with the numbers. I'm strictly numbers, baby. That's what. Because numbers don't lie, but people got 13 signs out there somewhere. I don't know what's going on. But your next move, especially for this year, let's deal with this year because you're coming in right now. You're in your critical cycle before your birthday. Remember, 52 days before your birthday is always a critical cycle. So everybody out there can find their critical cycle and their reputation cycle real quick. Your reputation cycle starts on your birthday for 52 days after your birthday. Your critical cycle, you count backwards from your birthday. The first day after your birthday, count backwards. Wherever it lands, that's where your 52-day critical cycle starts before your birthday. So you're in your critical cycle before your birthday, and this year, 9 plus 5. But first of all, you're born the same day as Nipsey Russell, the comedian, where Nipsey Hussle got his name from. All right. So let's get with that. 9 plus 15 plus 2023. I'm not reading your life path. I'm reading the year that you're in. Yeah, that adds up to 2047. And 2 plus 4 is 6. And 6 plus 7 equals 13, which is a 4. You are in the crossroads of this year is the year, especially as your birthday commences. This is the year to, right now, before your birthday, write down what you want to restructure and reorganize in your life. If it's supposed to be there, it stays. If it's not supposed to be there, get rid of it. I'm talking about people, places, and things. And even if it's your own mama and your daddy, if they're not supposed to be there, damn, you need to either put them to the side and say, I can't take this drama right now because I got to heal myself. And because you're born on the 15th, which in tarot is the devil card, that means you battle between the physical and the spiritual realm. You have to find balance because the 1 plus 5 equals 6 means you have to find balance. And then because this year is about restructuring and reorganizing yourself and rebuilding what you wanted to do, your life path is telling me, because when you add the 9 plus the 15 plus what year she's born, I see where's the year she's at. 19, what's that? 1988?
Yeah,
Rick?
88.
1988? Okay. Yeah, I had to move my glasses. I got my blue blockers, my different type of blue blockers here. I got KT's, but it adds up to a number 5. Now, it adds up to 2012, which is interesting because now my spirit says to go to 2012. 2012, your life path being a 2012, which equates to a number 5. First of all, there's something great in the healing realm that you're supposed to do, whether it's dealing with massage or helping people or being a nurse or dealing with the holistic health or whatever. You're supposed to go down some road of being of assistance. Any form of assistance you're supposed to do because you're born under that love frequency that needs to balance the spiritual and the material world. And because 20, I see that 2012, when I add it all up, 12 says, stop shutting down your vocals. Speak up in a timely fashion, but speak when you speak about people or you want to shut down people, say it with love. And if you can't speak to them, you got to write it out. You got to write it out. There's certain things that you had to heal from your past. I could tell by your alignment number, 9 plus 15 equals 24. There's something in your past. Maybe it's your father's side, maybe it's your mother's side, something you got to forgive. Write the letter if you've been stagnant about speaking your truth. Write the letter, because when you was younger, you would speak up. You had something about you when you was younger had a more vibrant energy, because you're born under that number 9 and you say a lot of things. You say what you mean and mean what you say. But as you've gotten older, there's something's been shutting you down from talking. But now is the time to talk and let it out, reorganize, restructure, and make sure you communicate clearly with who you're dealing with. Even if you have to say it 4 or 5 times or 3 times, make sure you're clear, especially in a crossroads cycle. And the crossroads is going to last for 4 years. It means to cross the road. Do not just stay stagnant. Do not just stay on wonder. Don't just stay on the fence. Cross the road. If a truck is coming, you need to move. And you need to travel, because this is the restructuring that next year is going to be a number 5 year, which deals with promoting what you have restructured. The 6 deals with learning and educating yourself for the next year. And then the 7 deals with traveling and movement. And then that 8 year comes with money. So what you do in these next 4 years is going to determine how much money and finance you're going to take yourself to the next level with, and how much you're going to do what you love to do instead of doing what other people love you to do.
All right. So with that being said, like I said, for everybody else who sent a chat, Hit up King Simon, send him your receipt, and he will definitely take care of y'all, and it'll probably be even more thorough than it would have been
Yeah.
online. So everybody who sent super chat, hit up King Simon, send him
I'm
your
gonna go.
receipt, your proof of purchase, and he'll take care of y'all. All right. But with that being said, King, leave your contact info one more time for everybody, King.
That's right. If you want to go to my link tree, that's linktree/King Simon, the numero Veda. If you want to go to my PayPal for international people or people that just use PayPal, paypal.me/King Simon. And if you want to go to my Cash App, that's $King Simon 3158. That's $King Simon 3158 to spread love. Spread love. Ba, ba, da. You know, Rich, I got to interview you soon too, brother. Stop playing. We got much to talk about.
Oh, I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I'm definitely ready.
Hey, I love what you did with Dr. B, man. Great interview, man. Man, I love that, man. Great job.
Yeah,
Thank you, brother.
we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun during that interview. A lot of fun. A lot of fun.
I love it.
Hey,
Thank you.
with that being said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This is Brother Rich, King Simon. Absolutely magnificent show. If you didn't see the whole thing, rewind it, watch the whole thing from the beginning. King Simon came on fire. He got the preacher spirit in him tonight. I don't know what happened, but he was on fire tonight. He had that fire energy tonight. With that being said, we get out of here, family. Peace, family.
Peace. Thanks, brother.